Welcome to YOUCANIC. Today on YOUCANIC we have a 2011 Cadillac STS with the V6 motor, 3.6. On this engine we're going to go over how you would change your engine oil on this vehicle. So to start with, we have our engine filler cap right here. Oil filter is down here and your checker dipstick is right there. And so we're going to remove this oil cap just so that we can remove this cover plate here to give us ease of access for the filter housing. Once we've removed, you just raise this up and pull it out. Then we're going to put this cap back on so we don't knock any debris inside. We also have this plastic piece here. This isn't going to get in the way, but we're just going to remove it just because it's got two push pins down here at the bottom that would hold it on. So remove those and then you can pop this off just so you got better ease of accessibility. So this is a canister type oil filter, metal casing, and we got our filter media that goes inside there. Now this is on the top of the engine, so we can go ahead and replace that right now. Then we'll drain the oil and then we'll add fresh oil. So this takes a 24mm socket. Just because it's big doesn't mean that it will have a lot of torque on it. So we're going to loosen and remove the whole filter there is connected with it. I'm just going to discard the filter casing and then just clean it up a little bit with some paper towel. We also get a new gasket O-ring with our filter, so we're going to go ahead and replace that with a fresh one. Okay, so we've got our fresh gasket in here, or O-ring. Now we'll put our filter in. It's our filter. We just press it into the top and it holds it in there. And now we'll be able to put it back in the housing here. There's this electric, we got to move a little bit just to be able to get in. So we're tight there with the O-ring. Is what's causing the resistance. So we've seated to the top. You're only supposed to tighten this to 25 Newton meters is what it says. So just snug, and that's all you've got to do. You don't over wrench on this. We're not tightening, even though it's got a large nut on it, it doesn't mean that you're going to tighten this super tight. You just want to have it good and snug. And now we can go and drain the oil and then we'll fill the oil back up. Okay, so down here below, you either have the car up on ramps, jacked up, supported with your jack stands, and wheels chalked. So we've raised up the car. There was any shield plates on the bottom, you would remove those if you need to get to this oil plug. This oil plug is a size 15mm, and so we're gonna go ahead and loosen that and drain the oil. You want to make sure that your oil drain pan that you have can at least house 6 quarts of oil, because that's what should be in this vehicle. Now of course between an oil change you might have a little bit less, but you want to have at least 6 quart capacity. Holy crap. So while that oil is draining, I went ahead and looked at this. This has got a rubber gasket on it, so you would be replacing this whole drain plug, or you're doing an inspection to see if that rubber gasket is still good. But otherwise, you would replace this drain plug if this rubber gasket is worn and not. So you just buy a new drain plug to put in here. The gasket looks pretty good. So we're just going to go ahead with putting it back in once our oil is drained. Like I said, if the gasket wasn't good, this isn't a copper crush washer like a lot of vehicles. Okay. So our oil is drained for the most part. We got just that little trickles coming out. So we're going to put our drain plug back in, tighten it up, and then we will add oil. Fill it to the oil specification capacity of 6 quarts and check it and make sure we have enough for the operating range. Okay, so we're now up top here where we can add engine oil. Like I said, this takes 6 quarts, and so we will add our oil. You can choose your oil of your brand you prefer. Just got to make sure that you're running, they call for a 5W30, and so that's what we're going to put in. Okay, so that was 5 quarts. We're going to go ahead and put 1 more quart in there, and then on this vehicle, because the oil canister up here, you would start and run it for a few minutes so that it can fill up the oil filter, and then you would double check to make sure that that's the proper amount of oil. And then you would just be able, when you get done with putting your last quart in there, then you just put your cover back on, put your oil cap back on, and you're good to go. And so that's how you would change your engine oil on your 2011 Cadillac STS with the V6 motor, 3.6 liter capacity. Thank you for watching YOUCANIC, where you can be the mechanic.